we wanted to talk about when you've now hosted your GDE. Now you have these stories of children and youth who live generously, and you have in your hand proof. You have proof, real proof of what? Children who gave, children who lived generously, children who understood that the greatest gift we've received is the gift of the life of Jesus, our Savior. And so I'm going to share again and show you something we have that is called the multiplier feedback form. And this form helps us to stay connected with you. Now, if you look at the form on the left-hand side here, it looks a little bit different on the website. But if you don't have a link to it, let us know. We can send it to you. We try to make it as short as possible, but this form is not admin. It's the voice of what God is doing through you in your country with your children. I'm going to say it again. The multiplier impact form is not admin. I know it feels like it, but it really isn't. It's the voice of what God is doing in your community. And so if you don't write it down, the world doesn't get to hear your story. It becomes evidence that generosity is not just finances. And it's not just a Western concept or just a wealthy person's luxury. Gen G never wants to just be a Dead Sea, a body of water that receives and never gives out. And that is not who we are. We want to make sure that your story gets out to the world. So send us photographs, send us videos, spam us with photographs, spam us with videos. The people who fund, the private funders who help us to create all of these resources, they are people who love to hear what's happening in the world. And if you share your stories, we can share more with those people. Danica is going to share with us a little bit else in terms of our videos and the stories that we make. Please, Danica.
Thank you, Cherise. And I just love how you mentioned that the stories that we communicate, it is not Gen G stories, but it is the stories of all our multipliers and the children and the youth, that we can see how the Lord is working in their hearts and how this movement of generosity is spreading. So at Gen G, we have creative ways that we communicate impact stories. If we speak about impact stories, it's really testimonies. One of those ways being we create animations, but when we create the animations, it's a real story from a real child. The animation is just to protect their identity. And when we post these animations on our social media, then children from all over the world can look and be inspired at other
Mm.
children. So that is really the heart here at Gen G. We want to continue this movement of generosity and the awareness of generosity. I will be posting a link in the chat box to our YouTube channel if you want to go and watch some of the animations. They are also on our website. So keep a look out for the chat box. I will post the links in there.
And friends, if you want to fill out this form, but you don't want to do it alone, or you don't have the technology savvy, maybe it's just not your thing, let us know. We will call you. We can do a WhatsApp call and we'll fill out the form with you or for you even. But just share your stories, please. So take a few minutes. Tell us how many children were involved in your GDE, and we will always handle your story with care.
Next up, we have our final session, where we'll share what may be the most important step of all.